Hey, I'm Mr. Ghost. If you love true horror stories, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. The stories you'll hear are shared by our audience from Reddit, and to keep their original essence, I read them exactly as they were written. Before we begin, let me know in the comments, where in the world are you listening from? Now, let's dive into the darkness. I have a hiking trail behind my house that stretches on throughout my entire small town's woods area. Although it is a long hike, as it connects through multiple parts of the state of Michigan, that is not entirely what it is known for. The vast wilderness mixed with low cell service causes people to end up missing very frequently. There are signs everywhere saying that there is no service, and the possibility of you making it out when lost is extremely low, as only a few houses are even close to the trail, and I rarely see many people hiking it. Most likely because it is not for any amateur. Now that I have introduced the trail, I should probably bring up that my town is so small that we barely even call ourselves a town at this point. Just a place that has a gas station and a small convenience store. I work 40 minutes away from my house, and within the time it takes me to get to any major roads, I pass a total of 3 houses. I never speak to my neighbors, as I have maybe seen them once in the 12 years I have lived here. People love to follow rules in this quiet town, although it might be scary for some people to be far out from civilization. I find it rather enjoying. I have never once had the thought of leaving and love every second of being here. Now that I have told you my background and a bit about the town I live in, and the trail itself, I should probably let you in on something else. I think this place is cursed. People do not go missing simply because they're lost. They do not go missing because they get injured along the way. No, there is no way. I have went through the trail many times, talked to people on online forums that even went through it. Nothing adds up to what they say on how it can be dangerous. I have done a bunch of research on this trial for the past year, ever since I heard what I thought was my father talking to me outside. The only problem is that he died 3 years ago. I chalked it up to nothing. No big deal, but it lingered in my head for days until I decided finally to maybe look into what happened. Apparently many people report hearing things in these forests that do not sound like any other animal you would hear out here in Michigan. Most of the people who make it out are with groups, while the people who go missing have all been alone or with max 3 people. I cannot do this anymore. I hate the thought that something I am surrounded with is pushing out dangerous amounts of dark energy. It is weird that within the past year, along the time less and less people have decided to go down, that more stuff started happening to me. Tapping at my window, hearing noises at all times a day that makes me feel schizophrenic. I decided that to put the fears behind me to call up my childhood friend Mark to go on a little walk on the trail. I just need to get over this feeling, conquer my fears. I have never been one to be a believer in the supernatural, so I think tomorrow when he gets here that we will embark on a nice 2-day hiking trip and fix my fears. It has been a day now. I awoke at 7 and prepared my stuff again, checking for any items I may have forgotten. Mark arrives shortly after, and we decide to open a nap and see where we should go. We plan for a little while before settling on the old farmhouse up by the Willow Hill. The Willow Hill is named after the Willow family, who basically ran this town before it became a ghost town, practically 100 years ago. I cannot say Mark was fond of the thought of an old scary farmhouse. I thought that it would be fun, and expressed that we are adults. I even made him feel better by bringing a gun with just to ease his nerves. Putting on one last thing before we left, I took my chain cross and put it over my neck. I am not really superstitious, but it would be nice if the big man upstairs was watching our back. We made way through the back of my house, and a little ways down to the trail. Knowing some of the way myself, I lead us to the right direction, and we set out. I gave Mark a walkie-talkie, like the ones we used to have when we were kids. "Thanks," Mark said with a chuckle. "You think we are going to need these though?" he questioned. "Better to be safe then." "Sorry," I echoed to him as we passed by a broken log. The log looked old, like time had finally caught up to it and it could turn to dust from just a touch. "Do you think they ever send people out here to clean up these places?" "This looks like it has been here forever," responding with a calm voice I said. They never come out here, not unless two people go missing, and even then they search barely anywhere and leave, knowing that they will probably be gone forever. Mark did not like me giving him shit. Too late anyways. There is no way I am going back. As we kept walking, we could definitely make out that we were entering a new type of place. The forest was dense now, extremely dense. Anywhere you looked like fog was growing from the ground itself all around you. The path seemed to be in perfect condition though, and seemed to carve its own way around corners of the dense forest. Shit, Mark yelled out. He seemed to have tripped after losing his footing on a log we were going over. Make sure you did not drop anything important. It would suck if you needed something and did not have it. We kept on until we came across a clearing. By now it was about 5 o'clock, and we found our first ever sign of civilization, an old outhouse. I have been told before that there are all sorts of weird stuff out here, but never been told about an outhouse. Strange, I thought. Mark pushed me aside though and exclaimed eagerly that he had to poop this entire time, questioning why he did not go in the woods. I did not seem to mind. I waited a little bit while he was in there, and decided to take a glance at my map. Just an hour or so until we are there. I yelled to Mark. No response. I looked up and swore I saw something. Even though we were in a clearing, there was still a good amount of trees around. I did not want to chalk it up to nothing though, so I stayed in alert. A noise from behind came and I dropped my bag in shock. Scared, Mark let out a laugh right after. I chuckled to myself. I am scaring only myself here. It is best to not tell him that I thought I saw something. Better one man scared than two. We kept going on, and the sun was starting to barely noticeably get lower. We were gonna make it there within the next 10 minutes or so. That is when I saw it. The hill. Was my timing off? Oh well, we made a way up the hill, and had our eyes set on the vast open land from the top. When up on the top, the farmhouse was in perfect view, right in front of us. We had to slightly get off the trail to get here. And as we turned around to look behind us, it felt so surreal. The hill was high up, and made the treetops visual to where we thought we were staring at Earth's beard. We then made our way towards the farmhouse. Hopefully no homeless got here before us. Mark commented as we grew closer. I am sure that something has lived there before while it was run down. We looked around the farm and then crept up to the house door. The game surrounded the house like a circle. It would have been beautiful if not 100 years old and run down. But night was approaching quickly, and we needed somewhere to sleep. Before I opened the door, Mark questioned me. You want to sleep in there? I looked at him with a raised brow. Why would not we? It is horrifying. No offense to the people who used to live here, but I would rather take my chances in the barn, where I do not think something would pick over this house, just in case something was living inside. I nodded a little, although it sounded dumb to me at the time. I decided to agree.
Fine, we can stay in the mice-infested barn, but at least come in and check this house out.
Heck, we walked hours just to get here.
What is like 15 minutes of exploring something this cool?
You have your flashlight.
You will be fine. I made him question his own manhood with trying to get him to go. He has never really been known to quit on something before, but I expected him to show resilience. Fine, I will go in as long as you lead and we stay together, not expecting him to actually agree. I nod slightly and creak the door open, preparing my flashlight ahead, to make view of a swarm of bats to exit once I open the door fully. Nothing, just a normal-looking house. We went room to room, but could not find anything out of the ordinary of something 100 years old. The upstairs was all that was left, and at this point Mark was starting to get ahead of himself. He made his way upstairs without me, and that is when I followed suit. Thought you wanted me to lead. I opened the upstairs door that I thought he entered, and was supposed to not see him. Odd. Could have sworn I saw him go in here. Where you at, Mark? Do not play games with me. Do not flip me being the scared one. Rattling came from the old closet door to my left. A slight peephole was visible. I could make something out barely, but was not putting my full attention into it as to surprise Mark once I opened it. I slowly made my way to it, then quickly opened it. Nothing, not a rat, not a mouse, not even something that made a little nest in here. Conflicted.
I then heard Mark in the room next to me call out for my attention. I closed the door on my way out before I entered the study room. "Look at all these books," Mark let out, fascinated. Mark had probably never even seen this many in his life. Who would need this many? Someone who takes pride in their job, apparently. Or maybe just enjoys something besides television, seeming how they had no other form of fun in the 1800s. I told Mark. Mark looked at me with a soft face and grabbed a book. That is when we heard it. Downstairs it sounded like at the creak of a door opening slightly. "The wind?" Mark exclaimed. I shushed him with my finger, trying to listen to maybe something, anything. Mark then started walking towards the stairs, which were right outside the door. We made our way downstairs and decided not to check out the noise. If anything, it was a possum or something. We did not want to have to run back for a rabies shot. We left the building and headed towards the barn. As I turned back around, I saw the chair from the desk. Turned around now, facing the big window from the study room. Thinking I am going crazy, I keep walking. As we enter the barn, we make out the perfect spot to pitch our tents. I do not want to have to share this barn with a mouse by my side, and thought that a tent would be the best idea. Mark had a questioning look on his face. "You brought a tent?" I look over puzzled. "You did not." Mark obviously thought that just a sleeping bag would be enough for him, not caring the slightest if rain was to even come. "What if we did not make it here by night? You were just gonna hope that it did not rain at all, and use a sleeping bag?" Mark readied his sleeping bag. "I am a simple man. I will be fine. At least we have a roof over us," thought. "Have fun making friends with a mouse tonight," I mocked. After preparing ourselves for night and getting our food out, we were startled at a figure approaching us from the entrance of the barn. "What are y'all doing here?" What looked to be man in his 30s spooked us so out of right field that Mark dropped his can of beans and almost made me fall back. That damn gaze he had. Eyes wide open like he just learned how to stare, assuming he was trying to get a better look at us. I either prompt up. "We are hiking, using this place as a nice little camp." Basically, he turned his head slightly, and bet his laser beam gaze onto Mark, then back to me. I felt as though he was staring deeply into my soul. Cutting off the deafening silence, he began to speak again. That nice wish I would have seen this before I decided to take up that creepy old house. That noise. Could it have been him? Probably startled by us. That is why he was so quiet and did not say anything. But then again, why did he come out here in general? So many thoughts and questions racing through my mind. I had to keep myself in check and respond to him as not to look suspicious of him. Just in case this man is an axe murderer, though. Yeah. It was a nice idea by my friend Mark here. We went inside not too long ago, 20 minutes or so before dark. Had you arrived here then? Like he had sense, I was trying to interrogate him with my question. He landed me a demeaning no. A deep no that hit me like a baseball bat to the side of the head. No. I was making my way over the hill off the trail. I had been hiking for a few days now. I just put my stuff inside and then thought I saw lights coming from here. Good thing I got here though. Could not stand another night in the dark out there. He then looked us up and down again, saying goodbye and that we probably will not see him later. He will be inside and out early. He scooted off and his sound went flat quickly. Me and Mark started into each other's eyes. I can tell that look on his face. Fear. We should have someone stay lookout. Man, I do not trust him at all. The way his eyes were bending my brain. I got bad feeling about him. Mark said confrontly. I agreed, and decided to change into something nice for bed, taking my chain off and letting Mark know that he can sleep first. I will be the first to take watch, reassuring him multiple times before he went to bed that I will not fall asleep too. An hour passed. I was so bored. I was twiddling my thumbs when a realization crossed my skull. How come there were no lights in the house? No flashlight. Nothing. The windows aligned perfectly to where the front door was. You would think he would not go in without one. He said himself he hated the dark. I was scaring myself with stories rather than keeping watch. I tilted my head back up to see the house in front of us. Although we closed the barn door slightly, there was now a little crack. It did that every 15 minutes or so, slightly opening itself. I did not want to make way towards it though, because of my fear for I do not even know what. Crawling. Something skimpering around outside. I can hear it. The rustling of leaves. I can hear it, so fondly. I hate this. Every bit of this. Why did we decide to do this? I am probably scared of even going into forests now. The sound keeps getting louder, closer. How it already sounded like it was nearby. Suddenly the noise stopped, and the roof made a cracking noise. What the fuck? Did not it just jump on top of the barn? Mark obviously heard it. It was clear as day. What was that? I did not dare answer the question. I think he got the memo of just being quiet and listening. We waited like dogs. Minutes passed. Nothing. No more noise sense ever arose from that cracking sound. Mark scooted over to me slowly. Whatever the hell that was, I do not believe we want to find out. I nod to his whisper and grab my gun out of my bag. I look around, then up, then I see it. A hole above me. How had I not noticed it? Pitch black. The night had swallowed the farm. I think it was nothing, man. I had something running outside, it sounded like. But who knows? Maybe an owl hit its prey on the roof and hit the barn. Sounding logical out my head. But yet nothing is logical on this farm so far. I am too bad. I have a way with words. Just like that, Mark was back to sleep. I readied myself. I cannot let May keep watching. I do not want to scare him. But what I heard was not an animal. Another hour passed, and the door was cracking enough to finally see the outside a bit. The darkness was now lighter out, and I assumed the clouds had made their way away from the full moon. I looked around again and something caught my gaze. A hole in the roof. The same one, but the pitch darkness gone. Now that I think about it, I do not think that even with clouds on a full moon that it could get that dark. A sharp pain of realization came down my neck. The stories online of weird happenings in these forests were finally settling in. We were not even yet halfway into the night, and weirder stuff kept happening. The creak of the door came again, but this time it felt out of place. Quicker than the other ones, a little more than the others. I kept my gaze in it for as long as possible. The foot appeared, and slowly opened it more and more. It backed off, and I damn near shit myself. I woke up Mark, and the first sight he had was me with a finger over my mouth. His wide eyes knew something was up, and I did not want to say anything. Give no alerts of what happened, not to tip off the man I presume from earlier possible listening in on us. If we were to make a peep, he got close to me from the corner I was staying in. You see the door? It is slightly opening. I saw a foot there last time it was. I thought it was creaking. No, it was not. Those words shook him worse than anything I have ever seen get to him. We cannot stay here, knowing he was right. But then again, that meant the only exit would be us facing the man in front of us. I nodded to him, and slowly made my way to the door. He followed slowly. We decided on leaving our things. That man looked faster than us, and I do not feel like giving him an edge on us at all. Burying my head into the sole to peek under where I can possibly see feet. Nothing. I give Mark a thumbs up. What are you guys doing? A chill ran up and down like lightning on my back. Quickly turning around, the man was right behind us. An expressionless face. Back off, man. Leave us alone. I do not know what your goal is, but it does not involve us, cause we are leaving. Take our stuff if you want. The man took a single step, and that is when I decided to finally get a look at him, shining my light in his face. He did not even make a move to look away. A man in his 30s and a face that looks made up, like it is borrowing features from different bodies. Mark yells, "What the hell?" I grab to my side where my gun was. What is the problem? Certainly you do not want to leave, right? I cannot believe what is happening. It is dangerous at night. 2 people often get lost out here, especially without their map. Fuck. My map was on the other side of whatever it was. We are leaving, and that is final. I claimed. What about the map, man? We will probably want it out there, if we are going all the way back. Mark let out. I question if he is going to be the one to grab it. Not necessary, apparently. That thing had the map itself and handed it out. If you both are going to leave, let me offer you some rules. 1. You never leave the trail. It is dangerous once you make way off the trail. 2. Do not ever use something you find out there, no matter what. And 3. I know it is a long walk back, so do not be tempted at any point to run when you feel lost, scared. Taking the map we left, made way instantly as walking fastly towards the hill. Looking back, I saw a man in the window this time. Not the same one, someone else, with an even colder stare and all-black figure. Leaping onto the trail, we locked eyes. I am seriously never doing anything with you in charge again. Mark roared. I agreed, and decided it would be best if I led us back. Mark raised my attention to the forest. It was clear earlier, but now the trees were thick again, even though it was a clearing. But oh, do not let me forget to tell you, the eyes that came out from the depths of what looked like hell. Do not look too long. Eyes on the trail. I felt as though to remind him that we need to keep going, and not give in to whatever horror game they were trying to play with us. 6 hours is a long way. Not saying anything back, I knew silence was the only option. An hour had passed, and nothing felt like it had changed. A few logs here and there, but it was just a normal path. Of course, besides occasional echoes throughout the forest. That is when we were put to the test. A split. 2 different trails. What does the map say? That was not fucking here last time. I gaze over the map and sit there pondering. Mark tips the map from my hand. Where are we? He questioned. I do not think I know anymore. I feel like I had failed. This was the worst thing that could happen right now. I do not think we should make a decision right now. Let us just fall asleep on the trail and wait for day, man. Nothing should be able to get us right. Something smart out of Mark's mouth. No, I am sorry, but I do not think you want whatever that echo was finally catching up to you. That damn voice. The voice of many different speakers. The same thing from earlier. You must choose. Both go one way together, or split, and the other might die. Or maybe it goes the same way. Maybe you are being messed with. I cannot believe what we had gotten ourselves into. Hell on earth. We then made the choice to go to the left of us. The place we assumed we came from. Excellent choice. Was he fucking with us? I could not tell. I just knew I would rather go one path than have that thing catch up to us. As we made headway through the forest, I could tell we made the right decision, or at least it felt that way. The forest was starting to lose its thickness. We finally were getting somewhere else. Close to home, maybe? No. Why? Mark let out a frustrated tone. A hill? That damn hill was right in front of us. Do we keep following the trail? Do we turn back? Do we go up? Mark questioned. Follow the trail, Mark. Always follow the trail. We kept going into something that felt new to us, besides the feeling of terror. Again, an hour had passed, and Mark was growing slower and slower. I do not know how much longer he can keep going. He has never been much of a hiker. I can do this for days, but him, I cannot leave him behind. Say goodbye to years of friendship. Remember what we are walking for, and why we do not want to stop. I cannot keep this up. The echoes grow closer, and I cannot help but think that a meal of 1 sounds better than a meal of 2. Another hour. Mark is silent. His footsteps had become non-existent. Either that or he had been lost in time from the path. 1 more hour, maybe? Maybe just 1 more hour, and we will finally be home. I exclaim loudly to myself. A figure in the distance, hanging from the tree. It is Mark. I keep my head low, as tears form around my face. My feet are starting to ache, and I do not think the echoes are going to stop getting closer. Any minute now. Any minute. And the exit will finally be here. I talk to myself more and more now. I have passed a few people along my way. Others with their head down. People who themselves seem lost, but still stay on the path. I feel like at this rate I should just give up. Like Mark did. I knew after a few days in this maze he had given up. Me months. Or was it just another hour? Until I could finally go home. I saw a man ahead of me. Walking. He looked familiar. The man from the barn. Finally a familiar face. I look back down and continue walking. Whatever it was stole more than his appearance. But his hair, his eye, and his mouth. I do not think my life is worth the trouble. The cold walk and 1,000-yard stares from whatever peeked at me from the forest. I think I am gonna leave. I think I want to finally rest. I head towards the woods, and I close my eyes. My body feels nothing. Nothing happened. My eyes wander open. A dark room. No, not dark anymore. Someone is opening a door. It is me, or is that me? It has been so long, but this memory is in my head still. The closet. What the hell did stumble upon? What happened at Willow Ranch for it to take my soul from me? I do not think I will ever make it out. The closet does not open. I remember opening it. I thought, whatever was in front of me was not me. It looked directly into the hole and gazed into my eyes. Dressed like me, hair like me, eyes like me, but not me. I hope this place suits you more than it did me. To be fair, this is the only way out. A soul for a soul. I am sorry it had to be this way. You will understand once someone finally comes again. I have no mouth. Nothing. No arms. Nothing. I feel the need to scream, but nothing comes out. Mark comes in the door. You ready to set up for the night? Yeah, man. I will meet you outside. It looks at me one more time. The leaves. I try hard to move. A creaking noise. I move the closet door. Déjà vu hits like train. And it becomes too familiar. To repeat this cycle of taking another person's life. I do not think I can do that. So for whoever reads this, whoever hears about this, just know to keep whatever fears you have close to you. Keep whatever thoughts you have close to you. Do not indulge on trying to fight your fears, because it is your body telling you to look the other way. That's it for tonight's stories. But the nightmares never end. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Got a scary experience of your own? Share it in the comments. I just might feature it in a future video. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, some things are scarier than they seem in the dark.